Good morning and happy Monday to all of you out there. So, we're going to be working a little bit today on a couple of pieces we've got on the board. One, I've got a new commission for a bunch of tri-view, orthogonal view Star Trek ships, which should be a whole lot of fun because I enjoy doing Star Trek ships, so that should be easy. Not easy, but that should be entertaining. And then the other thing is, Ron had asked about whether I wanted to actually use grays in this, and I actually think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go back to Airship 27 for a little bit today and work with that one and see how that works. So join me, grab your coffee. I got my coffee. We're ready to go. Let's make this thing work. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here and we'll share the screen. Here we go. All right. So now I'm going to start here real quick with this one. This is Ron's Helio 2. I'm going to bring up the airship logo. There we go. So you can see that we're working on his piece. All right. So what I want to look at here is, now that we've got this piece kind of done and we're ready to go, he had asked whether I had intended. Good morning, Donald. Good to see you. Whether I had intended to actually make this into into grayscale or not, and I actually think that's not a bad idea. So I'm going to pick specifically 50% grayscale, and I can see it right here. So when you look at the lab processing, the level is 50. So this is exactly a 50% grayscale. No music today? Can you not hear the music? Are we out on the microphone from the camera again? Let's see. So I can see the spikes on the board and on Restream. So are you still not hearing me? I'm going to bring up Facebook. I'm going to take a look and see what I get. Do 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 do. Oh, I'm back. Oh, good. I'm back, and I have the secret to the air shield. Oh, right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go back to sharing the screen. Get back to work. Okay. I'm not sure I want to be this heavy on the shadows, but we'll find out. I won't know until I get there. So I'm putting in all the shadow work right now. And so what we're doing here is we're just putting in the basic shadows, right? I'm going to leave the outside edge of the pants to be sort of a there we go. There. So I'm going to go back in with the eraser in a minute and redo that and do some work on this, right? Because see, with the eraser, I can just go through and hit the highlights like this, right? And really make that stand out. And I just come along here and do this. There we go. Just like that. So what we're doing here is we're indicating the light is on either side of her. That's what we're going to do here. So we're just putting the light on either side of her for the moment. Which we will get to with her legs. So one of her legs is back, this one's back. So we're only going to get the highlight of this side. Sit down here at the bottom where it's going to have escaped the shadow, right there, right? And this leg is going to be over here like this. It's going to be on the left side of this. Yeah, it does. Looks like some Monster Eater. So it will be fine. The best part about this is I can turn it off at any time and start over. So if we really need to, we can. But looking here, and the other thing I can do, of course, is this, which looks a whole lot better. But we started at 50% value so that I can see clearly where all those shadows are. So that's really what we're after here. We'll come back to that in a minute. I'm just going to go through here. Just like that. The good news is, this one's hard, but as time goes on, these get a whole lot easier. So this first one, and there's one before this, that I'm going to have to go back and revisit, because the original design didn't actually have, what's his name? The main lead character. I hadn't figured out what he looked like yet. And so here we go. Just cleaning that up. I'm looking over here. I'm kind of doing this number here. There. I'm going to go back in here, and I'm just going to touch through this area just a little bit. Let's just get some color in here, right? And tighten that up. There. I'll just trim this back. There we go, just like that. And what I want to do is make it look smooth and not make it look like I had, this brush be very tough. I want these things to be in points like that, because our clothes very rarely does circles like that. Right? So we're going to go through here like that. Put those in the points. And then points here too. The truth is, she won't have quite this dramatic of a chest line. There we go. She's not. Maybe her shadows might be, she might be more glistening if you're talking about whether she's sweating or I don't think she's sweating yet, because we've decided that this is early in the morning and they're walking through this part of town, so here we go. So what I am looking at, though, is her face not being the way I want it to be. It's all right. We can fix that. There we go. Just like that. And we'll go back through here. We're just cleaning up this. And what I'm actually going to probably do is drop all of this shadow down. Up here. So what I would probably do for that is double up. So do another layer like this, and then just go through here and do that with it. And if you do multiply, you end up multiplying the eraser. You end up multiplying, so you could do that and see how you get kind of a darker color through here. If she was sweating, that'd be what I would do, right? So that's kind of how I would deal with that. But what I am going to do here is take this part right here, and we're going to lighten it up. There we go. And that makes it look a whole lot better. So, and then what I'll do is, since I've got two shades of gray now, when I do this, I'm just going to go in here and take this shade of gray instead, right? And I can go through and fix this and through here and stuff like that. Like fix her ear. I'm just going to go through here like this. There we go. So that's how we're going to do this. I actually might lighten this up even more. I have to see. Now, I'm wanting a little bit more roundness in her leg down here because it looks kind of not round. That's a technical term, the not round part. So just adding some shape here. Giving this some kind of conformity, so it'll make some sense. This probably should be shaded in because it's going to be blocked by, just like this leg's blocked, this leg's going to be blocked from the other side too. Come down here, we'll do that. We'll give her shoes some different color. There we go. There. Perfect. Now just bring that back. Give yourself some highlight through here. And then make it obvious that that's part of her. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. Hey, good morning, Isaiah. How you doing, man? We'll go through here. So, Isaiah, this is a piece for a group called Airship 27, and they're a local group out of Fort Collins that does. Hang on, quick, trying to get in here and kind of get that. There we go. They're a local group out of Fort Collins that does sort of pulp novels and stuff like that. So they've kind of commissioned me to do these pieces for an upcoming novel, and these will be the interior art pieces. So we're doing in. They had asked me if I would go back in and put some gray into this, and I thought, that's great. I'll put gray into it. That works. These are the two main characters of this novel, and so I'm doing to work on that. It should be cool. So, Isaiah is a new friend of mine that I just found through my buddy Raph and Christina. We sing karaoke together. So there. We have a lot of fun doing it too. Oh, Isaiah, for some reason your Facebook is private. I just wanted you to know that while I was here, because I tried to like your page and get to it from your link tree, and I couldn't because it was private. So I don't know what the story is on that, but I'm hoping we can get to the bottom of it. And it might have also just been, I love karaoke too. It's so good for the soul. And it really is too. So karaoke is just so good for you. It's just such a healthy thing. We're going to go in here with his jacket, and I'm just going to... I really want to highlight her backpack here and highlight this side of her. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just take this side and up to right about here. Make it all in shadow. And this should make it easy for us to see what's going on along the side of her hoodie here. So I'm going to bring her hoodie around and highlight this part of her arm and her backpack. It's kind of why I was waiting to do this cleanup on her arm. I wanted to be able to get it so I could see really well against his outfit. There we go. Much better. There we go. Much, much better. Isaiah does podcasts on games, gaming podcasts, which is awesome. There we go. Just like that. So what we're looking at here is I'm trying to kind of hit the point where we can highlight her backpack against his coat, and that'll make it stand out. So that when we're pulled back like this, you can definitely see she's got a backpack on. It looks different than his coat, etc., etc., etc. So we're going to do this too through the back of his. It's the inside of his coat, but the same thing goes along here. I'm going to go on ahead and darken his coat. He's in the background, so since he's in the background, I get to do more darkening of him. I want to be darker with him anyway. So we'll go through here. I'm going to have to make a decision about what to do with her as far as once we gray tone it. I have to figure out what to do with her with the skin tones and whether we want to darken her skin tones or not. I often have problems with that because I feel like sometimes when I darken the skin, it just looks weird, looks strange, and I have sort of an issue figuring out whether that's a good move or not. So we'll just have to see. We'll get there. Right now, I'm giving his cape some depth by putting in some shadow along here and along this side, like that. There we go. And that's what we're doing right through here is we're kind of pulling this across. And I'm just trying to put some shadow in, give a little bit of depth to this arm. And so we want to match the depth shadow along here. I think they even said that his coat was black, and I just don't want to. There's only so much black on black on black. You get no definition at all. So I'm going to make his coat dark, like it's a duster or something. I'm not trying to go against client, obviously, but black on black on black ends up with so much difficulty seeing or understanding what the picture is. So I'm just going to go through here and do this. There we go. He's got this fluffy ruffle shirt that he's wearing here, and I'm just going to go ahead and darken that out right there. And darken through here and lighten this, and then park it. So there. All right, so now taking a look at it from the 10,000 foot view, it's starting to look good. So we're going to still work on some stuff. His boots stand out like a sore thumb. But that's okay. This won't take long at all. Knowing that I want his boots to be like this forward, I'm sure his boots are probably more of, there we go, like that. Okay, I'm going to go through here and I'm just going to pull back away with the eraser. That should give us a lot of depth right through here like that. There we go, just like that. All right, so this is mostly a 50% gray. Right? And I'm not liking that at all. That's not what the color we want. He's got to be at least to start. Okay. Down here at the bottom, is there a cat in the trunk? You mean over on this side? No, but it could be. I mean, that could be funny, right? There wasn't a battle plan to have a cat or a critter back there, but I'm not opposed. Be kind of fun, right? There. Hello, Fred. We're apparently drawing cats in here. We don't know why. We think cats are cool. It's really pretty much what it boils down to. Let's look here. There. Yeah. And it won't even really be that visible. Kete. Kete in the artwork. All right, going back to gray. So we were up here working on his face. There we go. Sorry for the sudden zoom there. I'm just being kind of spastic through here because his hair is all spiky. That's what the instructions read. The hair is all spiky. And I'm going to do this. We're just following the contours of his face here. right? Totally has Billy Idol going for him. White wedding. There we go. That was my one and only Billy Idol impression. I won't be doing it again. I promise. We were talking about karaoke after all. And he's got the stupid thing he's doing under his eyes, too. Which I think even he thinks is silly after a while. Okay. Now what I'm going to do with him is I'm actually going to lighten this up even more than her. His skin tone should be markedly lighter than hers. There we go. Yep. Dancing by myself. There we go. So now we've made his skin, his shading markedly lighter than her shading. That makes it feel a little bit better. I know her skin tone is much darker than his. So, maybe not much darker, but she's Islander, so she should be darker by at least somewhat. Let's get some of this shadow corrected in here. Otherwise, it really does look weird. Skin tone stuff is always hard. It's not easy to try to figure out where you're headed with these things. And I don't know how this is going to halftone, or if I need to halftone it for them, which is entirely plausible. There we go. And I'm just going to clean this shadow up right through here. There we go. Let's do that. Good morning, Andrew. We're working for Airship 21 this morning. So I'm working on... Ron had messaged me and asked whether I was going to grayscale these. So... we are making Billy Idol jokes this morning as well. Is apparently a thing because he's got Billy Idol hair, which is not to be the same as Betty Davis eyes, which is his exercise regime. So much bump right there. All right. Excellent. I love cyberpunk albums. I'm just saying. Yeah, I hate to say this, but post-apocalyptic world, I don't think she's having good dreams. I think her dreams are pretty screwed up. Probably unhappy. I feel for her. And just reading the story, she's having a rough time at this point. The next picture we have to work with on her is an Ilio where she's kind of breaking down and crying. So she's not doing good at this point. So probably no glowing skin for her. I think this looks fine. She's doing fine there. Okay, now let's go to the background, and I'm actually going to bring in a darker gray for the background because I really want this to be. So this is going to be, I'm going to head into a much darker gray area. And we're going to want this to be 25, like that on the L. And that's a 75% gray. Dreams of finding, yes, she's probably dreaming about finding a good meal. That's probably what she's really into at this point. We're going to make sure that this is multiply. And we're just going to go in here and we're going to start putting this in like this. We really, because this is going to be behind them, so I can actually color all the way across. But this will help us define some of the levels of things that are going on in the background. For example, that's open to the other side. So since that's open to the other side, and this hole's probably open to the other side as well, I'm going to go on ahead and do that, and then let's go through here like this. So what we're doing is we're putting in sort of a darker background. That's what we're after here. We want this to look dark. Right. She's got that healthy glow, uranium-238. Maybe healthy is overstating it a little. There we go. Putting through here. Like this. This helps give serious depth to this building. We'll put this same thing over here. We're getting a lot of depth out of this building. And I'll go back and clean these up in a minute. But it helps us see a lot of what's going on in the background. And I'll go in here on Donald's crane and do the same thing. We're just going to kind of do this. And now we'll really feel the weight of that crane. Right? Here it is like that. And now we'll come up here and get closer. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to erase some of this so I can clean it up. And just get it a little cleaner. Through here like this. There we go. And it's just so that it doesn't look like I just kind of went in here and hit it with a brush just a little bit. There we go. There we go. I'm going to round that off. Then we're going to come through here and make sure all these open areas that are open to through the building are open. Right? So this is probably closed because we're going to have some structural support to this top part. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? All right. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let's go through here. We're cleaning this up. We're just making a little bit cleaner right through here. We just want to clean this up just a bit. And down here on this ground floor, we can see through the building pretty well by this point. Wow, I'm having problems with this. Here we go. Make that kind of clean there. I'm going to mess that up right there. There we go. All right. Now this one I can even make this darker if I really want. I don't think we really need to, but I can. That gives it a lot more depth and feel to stuff. Now I'm going to actually go through here and do this one too. This building's got one side facing us, and this building's got one side facing us. As they go down the road. So let's go ahead and make sure that this side of the building is perpetually in shadow. Give some depth to what's going on back here. There is a stalker cat too. I'm going to take kind of this and do this. The car. Make it a little harder to see him. That's kind of funny. Hey, Brent. Good to see you this morning. And it's break time. Hammer time. Undo. We don't do that because we already have existing color down here. So we're going to do that. We can go and do eraser through here though. Bring up some of that there. There we go. Excellent. What I'll do over here is take this, and I'm just going to go a little darker than this. Right to there. Make the bug just a little darker. There. We're just rounding off the bug here. Just like this. Yeah, I know. We've been in this apocalypse for a while, haven't we? Between Fred's pieces and Ron's pieces, we've got an awful lot of apocalypse happening. I was cleaning the basement and found a bunch of my old drawings and old works. And it's kind of nice to see my old work come back, but it is also somewhat saddening in a lot of ways, because there's just so much work you have to do still. And so it's like I can't win. I feel like I can't win. It's so funny. You are definitely the target audience, Tom. I'm just putting in this lighter gray just to give some other depth to this back here. That's all we're doing. We're just kind of touching up what's going on here in this picture. We're having a war down here between this gray and this gray. There we go. All right, feeling like this is coming along nicely. I'm going to take a quick break and take a look at this and kind of look at it in the overview. Okay, so I feel like I've framed in my two main characters with these heavy black lines on either side. We're moving inward with different shades of gray to kind of give a different feel on things, but I feel like it's working pretty well. I feel like there might need to be clouds or cloud cover or something like that for the background, but I'm not seeing how I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the picture and going, well, the other thing I really... Yes, we have some gray areas. The other thing I'm feeling like I want to do is some kind of sky-ish background. I don't know. Not to see. So I'm going to go underneath this line work here, right? I'm going to add a layer. And this is where I'm going to go from here to here. And let's talk about just a gradient. Let's see what happens, right? What would happen if I did that? What would happen if I went the other way? That's the way I want to go. Like that. Yeah, we'll need some pebbles or something by her shoes, certainly. Oh, that looks much better. There we go. I agree. We need some pebbles by her shoes or something like that. I'm gonna do the same thing down here, except in reverse. Do it the other way. In this case, I'm gonna go darker. There we go. Right, using the gradients gives us a little bit more depth to this picture too. But I agree with you guys, we need some kind of pebbleage or something on the road here. This road is way too perfect. Yeah. There we go. More like that. There. Perfect. I'll make it get bigger as we get closer so that it feels more like it's a road that's just kind of cracked in the distance, but now has kind of gotten nasty as we get up close to it. There we go. Trash. That's a good point too. In fact, I believe the instructions specifically call for littered with cans. Okay, I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to get rid of this part of the gradient fill because it's obviously like competing. And I get down in here and I'm going to actually kind of, oops, I'm going to mess that up. Get in here and do this. Because though I do like the idea of it adding a little bit of depth to this picture, it adds a little too much. All right. That looks a little bit more like it. Let's talk about that. That looks good. Now I think we're in much better shape. Okay. Well, we finished piece 1 for today. We're going to work on piece 2 here in a second. Kind of want to work on. So we're going to be working on a fan commission for and this is just a sketch for today. We're just going to do a sketch. We actually are going to probably have to cut it short just a little early today, but we'll get back tomorrow on normal hours. But the commission that I got was a tri-view of a Star Trek shuttle, which we're going to take a look at here. Okay, so we're going to look at this Starfleet shuttle. He said he's basing it off of the transfer shuttles in the motion picture. Motion pictures transfer shuttles had a rounded front like this. It's a rounded glass panel on the front. And they had like an extended lip. Came out the front piece like this, right? Underneath it we had these. And we kind of came around the side here like this. This sort of setup on the back. And this went all the way back to the back of the sled, which I feel like was rounded. Okay, so I'm looking at reference pictures here. I'm just rounding this off. I'm going to round this a little more too. So this is more, sticks out more like this, comes up and around like more like that, right? And it's bubble-like. Then we're going to come around here, we're going to raise it up just a little bit. Go through the back part. This is the after section of this model. And actually it's connected right through here, so we're going to bring this around and have it just like this. Now we look at the underside. Now, going back past this piece is this extension, which comes out like that, and it goes back. Okay. Okay, like that. And it has these really pretty intakes, which kind of go like this. Which leads straight back. And I'm just cleaning this up here, making this kind of part of the reason we sketch, is to hedge in where all these things go. And I feel like those go underneath. Right. I feel like these two intakes are more under the vessel. They're showing up here. So let's go ahead and line them both up underneath. So they're kind of one on top of another. Right? And that puts this as sort of a fin, like a mounting fin. Almost. We're just going to move these over. More like that. All right. There we go, just like that. There. Yep, they were mostly planet-side space talk. I agree. The call for this guy, though, is that he's going to specifically be a unique vessel for this. It's a game piece. He's going to be a very unique vessel. Because he's got some interesting equipment going for him. Right? So I'm going to put this rack on top. There we go. So I'm looking. At this, and I'm feeling like who needs one when you can have two? There we go. Right? Where are your airbags? Okay. So we're starting kind of this design here. It's got this equipment rack on the back, which there we go. And this is my rough draft on this one, so I'm going to be just kind of getting an idea of what I'm headed for. This is what I'm headed for. All right. And it's 11:17. Okay, guys. So we're going to be cutting it short just today. We'll be back to normal 2-hour show tomorrow. But I got to cut it short today. I got to make a run real quick to something before noon, strangely enough. So we've got to head out of here. So I appreciate you joining me, but I want to make sure that we don't lose track of that. So I'll see you all tomorrow at the same time, 10 o'clock. And let's see here. There we go. And I hope your day is awesome. I hope you have a great day. And we will... Oh, I should turn off the airship thing. There we go. And close this and this. And save. Bye, Chels. Chels was hanging out here. I didn't know that Chels was even hanging with me. Good to see you, Chels. Right? Some kind of transport in your shuttlecraft. Anyway, I'm gonna get going because I got to get out of here. So before noon, I got to hit the stores. Hit the stores before noon. So, and I will have fun storming the castle. You think it'll work? It'll take a miracle. Bye. Bye. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.